Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly webinar training. I hope you are having an awesome week. And if not, we always say, hey, the weekend is right around the corner. My name is Chance, US Navy veteran, number one best-selling author, and your implementation strategist. Every Thursday, we bring these trainings to you to help you up-level your life. We are here especially to help entrepreneurs, professionals, and ministry leaders to be able to monetize their skills online. That means taking your education, expertise, and experiences and turning them into products, programs, or services so people's lives can be impacted all around the world. And that is made possible because of technology. Okay. We have an awesome topic for you today. If this is your first time here, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, visit us on Facebook as well, and follow us there. And most importantly, bookmark our website, strategicsecrets.com. Strategicsecrets.com. Okay. If you would like to ask any questions, feel free to use the chat, or you can email me at chance@strategicsecrets.com. That way we can always connect together. Okay. Excuse my t-shirt here today. My son is doing some experiments with his class, and so this is some t-shirts that everybody's wearing. Well, he's wearing, so we are supporting him in that as well. And so all three of us in the house, we got matching t-shirts. So that's why I'm repping like that today. So what topic are we going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to bring it up in just a moment for you. Um, it's going to be one where it's going to cause us to think. And actually, this one was not originally on my schedule for today, but I got a text message early this morning, and it was from a good friend of mine, a colleague of mine. We do work together, and but he was asking for a specific quotation in regards to what I'm going to show you. And, I had to go dig it up because, I had shared with on previous presentations of his, and he remembered me saying this quotation and he wanted the reference. So I went and dug it up. And then I'm like, you know what? That's what I need to talk about today. I need to go back and revisit this particular message, not just for you, but also for me. It's always a good reminder that we need to make sure that we are staying abreast of things. So I'm going to bring up my slides here, and we're going to get right into it today. Going to bring up my slides. By the way, the replays are always on YouTube. So if you miss any of the previous presentations, you can always go back to our YouTube channel, Strategic Secrets, and be able to catch up on some of what you may have missed. So let's start with it right now. Alrighty. So again, this is our weekly training for professionals, entrepreneurs, ministry leaders, or anyone with a success-minded orientation. We like to be able to help people to do different things. Again, we do bring and incorporate faith-based. Don't let that scare you though. But generally here is where we take it more on a Thursday. We go more on the practical application of spiritual knowledge. And so I hope that you will indeed be blessed by today's presentation. So let's go for it. All right. Alrighty, so today the topic we're going to be talking about are the 6 principles that always guarantee success. 6 principles that you can incorporate in any area of your life, be it spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, be it financial or professional, or even relationships. If you abide by these 6 principles, I guarantee you that success will be around the corner, or you will be experiencing it on a daily massive basis, because these are proven, they are tried and true. They are things that we have practiced in our life, especially in our ministry, that we have done in the past and currently still use them because, again, I have found them to be powerful. I came across these when I was serving with the National Association for the Prevention of Starvation, a nonprofit in Alabama. We were there with them for about 7 years. And while we were there, I wore many hats there. And so as we will take young people out to be able to make an impact, in the communities, these are principles that just came to be, and these are the things that we actually would say out loud and quote to each other. And they became guiding principles, as it were, for us when we did our work. And so today, I think it is very befitting that I bring these back to life. Actually, I had not looked at them for quite a while, though you espouse them, but I know that They have been a blessing to me. They have helped me. They have helped my team to be able to do well on many of our outreach projects and programs and evangelism campaign, as well as fundraising campaigns, because we really, really and truly drill this into all of our team members. And I think today, again, if you will look at these, review them, maybe write them down, take screenshots if you're on your mobile device, and see if they can work for you. Okay. And let me know if you have any more principles as well, like these for your life. Okay. Let's go. Let's start with it. Okay. So again, my name is Chance. If you have not yet known me, feel free to follow us. Again, we have done so many different things. I'm multifaceted in that regard. So we've served as a minister, we serve in nonprofits, we've done business kind of things. So I pretty much, I've written now 13 books, and planning to create some this year as well. So I'll actually be sending out an email, by the way. Let me know, what kind of books do you want for 2021? What would you like us to write about? So I'm going to be sending out something on that. But I do have several in the quiver, and I'm also going to be giving at some point an opportunity for anyone who would like to also co-author a book with me as well. Okay. So today's webinar, what are we going to learn about? We've just talked about it. We're going to talk about the 6 principles that always guarantee success. These are things, again, that you can incorporate no matter what area of your life you're focusing on, your career, your personal life, your spiritual life. If you will embed these into your life, I'm telling you, it's going to go a long way. So everybody is talking about success. Everybody's thinking about success. Success is something that everyone wants, right? No one wants to be a failure. So, but my book, Strategic Secrets, I have a chapter in there about, the things that guarantee failure as well. So success is predictable. Failure is also predictable. And so there are certain things that we do that definitely we're going to, you can be successful or you can be a failure. The choice is ours, right? And there are things that we do even to sabotage the success. But that's why you want to have certain principles that guide your decision. So you're not just simply making certain emotional decisions sometimes, or decisions at your low points, and you're not always in your right frame of mind. But how do you actually keep your principles and values even during tough times, even when things may not be going well? That's why it's good to live a principle-based life. Okay. So number one, the first principle that always guarantees success is this: always think and act in faith. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you should always do and 3 things that you should never do, right? Those are going to be the 6. 3 things you should always do, 3 things you should never do. So always think and act in faith. This is powerful. Here's a quotation in that regards. It says, true faith, right? This is from a book called Amazing Grace, 207, paragraph 3. True faith lays hold of and claims the promised blessing before it is realized and felt. Here is faith, naked faith. What is true faith? To believe that we receive the blessings even before we actually realize it. So this is where, again, to achieve any great things in your life, in any area, you got to believe in that thing. You got to believe that you are capable. You got to believe that God is with you. You got to believe that you have the ability and the wherewithal to make it possible. We give up on things because we don't believe it, or we lose faith, right? Sometimes people get motivated on something, but then, over time, if it's not happening according to your timetable, or people face some setbacks and defeats along the way, then they give up. But again, true faith sees the thing, right? I have a quotation in my book, The Certainty of God's Promises, that describes faith. To me, faith is something where faith sees the finished or the goal realized, right? So faith does not wait for the reality of the thing to be manifested. Rather, faith sees the thing even before the manifestation or the realization. So you and I must really and truly pierce through the veil and look beyond, right? So don't wait for the goal, in other words, to be accomplished, so then you can actually feel good about it. What you want to do is see the thing being done, because that's what faith is, right? Faith sees tomorrow. Faith sees beyond the obstacle. Faith sees the thing as done. That's the difference between wishing and hoping and so-called luck. When you can see the thing being done, it's just a matter of time for it to be realized in the natural. So that's why it's called faith. The good book says, why should a person have faith for what they can see? We only have faith and belief and hope in what we cannot see. Okay. So, with the natural, that is, right? You can see it through the eye of faith, but with the natural, people can't see it yet. So, this water bottle, at one point, it was not there. Faith, someone saw it completed. It's just like building a house. Before the house is finished, somebody, the designer, the architect, sees it in his or her mind, and then you and I over time will see the realization of the house. But the house already existed. The house existed in the mind of the creator, right? So that's the way we want to be. Remember, God has made us to be creative beings, creative humans. We are made in his image. So he's a creator, we are creator. Before the world was, it was already in his mind. He spoke and it was so. So you and I is the same way. When we write a book, for example, the book is not done as far as people are concerned. But I, as an author, I see my book as being completed. I know what it's going to be like. You may not know, but when you see the actual realization of the book, that's not the time the book came into existence. The book came into existence already in my mind as a thought, as something that is within me. And so over time, you get to see the results. That's what faith is. So right now, for example, I know that I'm going to publish a book in 2021. I know what the book is going to be about. I know what it's going to look like. You may not know what it's going to be like or what it's going to look like. Now, let's just say I have some setbacks or some other things come up. It's not going to delay the actual creation of the book. Rather, it might give you some setbacks, yes, but I'm believing, I have faith that it is still going to happen. So therefore, I'm going to keep, treading on this course until I see the results of the thing for which I was believing. In this case, I'm believing for a book to be published, and therefore it shall be published because I have faith that I can. I have faith that the resources will come. I have faith that God will give me the strength and the energy, the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding, etc., to make it a tangible reality, and then you will see the reality in due time. Next one is always speak words. Sorry, oh man, what a big typo here. Always speak words of courage and hope. Man, wow, I don't know what I was thinking here. Always speak words of courage and hope. This is very important. Your words have an impact on how you behave and what you think and feel. So here's another powerful quotation. It says, let us educate our towns to speak right words, words that will encourage and strengthen our fellow men, including ourselves. Let us talk of the goodness and mercy and the love of God. Put away all unbelieving words and all that is cheap and common. So again, you got to speak words of hope and encouragement, because things get discouraging. Things seem hopeless and daunting sometimes. Indeed, we all suffer some kind of setback and defeat at some moment. But what we don't want is this: we don't want to slay our own our own desires and dreams and goals and visions with our own town. It says life and death are in the power of the town. So if life and death is in the power of my town and your town, guess what? You got to make sure that you are certain of what you speak about, and you got to be careful what you speak, because you don't want to be discouraged, that you should not discourage others, right? This is also the golden rule in operation. So I should speak the way I want to be, and the day will come when I will be the way I speak. See, and I know that's not always easy, because we want to give way to, we want to speak the feelings. But notice this: when you speak certain feelings that are negative, especially, it multiplies, right? Doesn't it? When you, for example, it can be something like even a headache, right? If you keep whining and complaining about your headache, sometimes the headache stays, it lingers, because we kind of want to keep it there. But also, in life, man, life just has its own issues and challenges. Why do we want to add to it in speaking negative? So speak words of faith, of hope, and courage. That's what you want to be doing. Number three. Always give your best and leave the results with God. Oh man, especially when we were in our mission days. We were young, full of energy and vitality. And me, being a type A person, always was connected with the goal and shared the goals with the team. And we just had to reach the goal. But over time, I learned to realize, listen, As long as we did our best, that's all that counts. And God wants us to do our best. We can always go home feeling good about ourselves, no matter what the outcome is, if we give our best. But how do you feel when you know that you could have done better or you didn't give your best? Even if you achieve something good, you might say, man, what could have been if I had actually given it my all? There are times in school, for example, I've done papers, or certain exams, and you didn't apply myself the best way, and then I end up getting a good grade, and I'm like, wow, man, imagine if I probably had given it my all and actually did my best on this thing, probably even could have got a way better grade, something along those lines. So that happens in everything. Go in and exercise. You might want to go for an hour and you give 45 minutes. It might not be your best, but if you do give your best and you finish that thing, you can actually feel good because you did your best, and that's all that God is asking for us. Interestingly, I think we did one mission we did. This was our theme, right? Best. Where was that at? Baltimore was BMO. Somewhere in the cold weather. I remember we were doing a cold outreach campaign, and this was our theme, right? Do your best, right? Believe, endure, strive together. That was actually the acronym for the word best. We believe, we endure, and we strive together as a team, and we achieved a lot of our goals on that mission. But that's where we kind of just, hey, everybody, we're not going, as leader, I'm not going to complain. My other associates, we're not going to complain. We're not going to say anything, because sometimes when you didn't hit the goal, you kind of you get on the team. But we were just clear. Listen, you wouldn't hear it from us, you wouldn't hear it from me if we all just do our best. That's all I'm asking of you on this mission. Do your best. All right. And that best involves, yes, we all have to make sure that we believe, always act in faith. See, that goes back to one of our principles, right? We endure and we strive together as a team. That's what doing our best is. And if we did those 4 things, we are okay. And God bless indeed. Here's a quotation on this one, Steps to Christ, page 122. It says, when God opens the way for the accomplishment of a certain work, and he gives assurance of success, then the chosen instrumentality, that's you and me, we must do all in our power to bring about the promised results. Notice this now, okay? Because we put a lot back on God, right? I preached a message this past weekend that really ruffled a lot of feathers, right? In proportion to the enthusiasm and perseverance, there we go, endure, I believe, endure, with which the work is carried forward, will be the success given. Notice that? In proportion to what you put in is what you're going to get out. So then you must do all that you can on your part to bring about favorable results. Jesus indeed has promised his aid, his help, his strength, his courage, his faith, all of these things God is going to give us, but not apart from your effort nor my effort. When relying upon our helper, you have done all that you can do, then you must accept the result cheerfully. Wow, man, I love that. That's really fired up right there. And this, by the way, is one of the most balanced counsel that we can find, because again, we also speak to, especially to people who have a faith-based background, right? So many of us are believers, and here's the thing though, sometimes we put it all on God, and here divinity needs humanity. Let me just put it that way. And humanity needs divinity. God is going to help you. He's going to give you the strength, but he's not going to do it for you. Right? In the sense that we think that, oh, yes, Moses said, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Yes, indeed. There are times he does that, but the majority of the time, those people were just coming out of bondage. They were enslaved. They didn't have a will or mind of their own, technically speaking. But notice, once they got through that wilderness on the other side, guess what happened? Man, they got to go plant their own vineyard, reap their own crops, and to fight their own battles. Because they were not an army, they were not a military force, and they were not even a full-fledged country or nation as yet. So God was just doing most of the things for them. It's just like children. As they're young, we do most of the things for them, but as they get older, hey, brother, you got to tie your own shoes. Sister, you got to lace your own stuff. And so that's how it is. God is not that God is not with us. God will give us the will. God will give us the intellect. God will give us the inspiration, the idea, the strength, and the courage. It is you and I have to go and get the work done. God doesn't come and tie my shoelaces for me. He enables me to be able to do it, but I have to tie my own shoelaces. I got to go cook my own food. I got to do all of these different things. So this is one of the key things, because so many people can achieve greatness, but they keep waiting on God to do it for them. In other words, we are putting it back on God. No, when God, anything you want to achieve in your life is going to take your participation. Let's just put it that way. So participate in your own success, right? So again, when God opens the way to accomplish a task, a goal, a vision, right? He's going to give you assurance of success, but you, the instrumentality that he chooses to do this work, you must do all in your power to bring about the promised results, right? You cooperate with, that's why we live by principles. If we carry out these principles because they are unfailing, right? When you carry out certain principles like God's laws, what happens is the result is self-evident, but we must cooperate with the law in order to experience the benefit. You don't get the benefit or the outcome or the results if you don't abide by the principle or precept that he gave. So you and I, if you want great success, again, according to your, in proportion to your enthusiasm and your perseverance, that's what you're going to experience on the opposite side. So I really hope that it is really helpful. So again, those are the first three, right? The three things you should always do. Now let's talk about three things that you should never do. And never do these things in your work, in your professional life, your career, your business, your ministry, your finances even, and your relationships, your spiritual life, etc. So what are these three things? Now, number four. So we talked about six things, right? So we're now on number four. We talked about three things you always do. Here are the three you should never do. But number four in the list is never speak doubts or discouragement. Now, this was in harmony with speaking the opposite in the always, right? Always speaking words of courage and hope and etc. So, but never speak doubts or discouragement. Why? Because it's going to affect you. It's going to impact your feelings, your emotions, your belief, your everything. So you never want to speak in a doubtful or discouraging manner, even when you have all the right to, because we convince ourselves, right? But yes indeed, everybody knows that it's a problem. Everybody knows that you've been through a lot, but you don't want to keep on, hammering on these discouraging, doubtful things, because it breeds the same and more, more of the same. Here's a quotation, Heavenly Places, page 239. It says, make it a rule never to utter one word of doubt or unbelief or discouragement. Make it a rule not to talk of unbelief or discouragement or dwell upon grievances. Man, listen, that right there will take a lot from you. Now, imagine, again, what is simple, right? Just because something is simple doesn't mean that it's always being done, right? It's simple, right? It's a simple principle, but how many of us find it hard to do? Because we do want to talk about our grievances. We do want to talk about all the issues that are going on that are negative, but it takes more discipline. It takes more will and courage to actually speak opposite of this, opposite of discouragement is encouragement. Opposite of unbelief is belief and faith, right? Hope and optimism. That's what people want. People don't, because here's the thing. If I'm already discouraged, why am I going to keep myself in a discouraged manner? Look at it, David. Remember, David was facing so many problems in the Bible if you read about, the King David. But it says, there's a wonderful verse that says, David encouraged himself in the Lord. So you must make it a rule never to utter one word of doubt, unbelief, discouragement. Don't talk of these things, because here's the thing, your thoughts impact your words, but your words also impact your thoughts. Okay, so they go together. We talk about this. We right now we are dealing with mental and emotional health, and so here's the thing: we talk about, what you think about, you speak, then you act, and then repeated action form habits, repeated habits form character, and that's your personality. But it also goes in the opposite way. In this way, if I speak a certain way, it impacts the way I think, which kind of goes back into now creating the action, because I'm thinking a certain way. It gives me a certain action. So again, speak the way you want to be, and the day will come when you will be the way you speak. So if you want to be happy, you should be speaking happy. Think about it. How are you going to want to be happy and speaking negative? How you going to want to be hopeful but speaking doubtful? How you want to be encouraged and speaking discouraged? It doesn't make sense. So speak what you want. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Again, so both life and death now. So if you want death, keep speaking this way. Doubt, discouragement, and guess what? Before you know it, you're going to be discouraged. I mean, you might be, before you know it, you're going to be depressed. Then, the longer you stay in that, then it's going to bring on death indeed, and defeat, and despair. All the D's, negative D's, right? Make the preacher coming out of me here now. I actually have a sermon on that, about the negative D's, right? And so don't dwell on negativity. Negativity breeds more of the same, just as positivity will also breed more of the same. So speak what you want, not what you don't want. All right, number 5, never rely on feelings and emotions. And I put only here because I know for me, I am more a left brain oriented individual. I'm more analytical and I'm reasoning, right? And so I'm learning to use all the faculties of my being. But here's the thing though, because for those of you, that's why I put only, because there's some people who are more intuitive, etc. They are right-brained, right? So that's where you find your musician, your artist, and even some of your people in technology. So because those are what you call those hunches. But what I'm saying here though is never rely on feelings and emotions only, because we get in trouble when we are in our feelings and emotions most of the times. For those of you who believe the biblical narrative, right, we are in this whole mess and predicament today because of feelings and emotion, right? Sister Eve felt, right? She was in the feeling, right? And so you and I get in trouble. Think about how many people, if it feels good, do it. Not entirely, because that right there leads to a whole lot of trouble. There are a lot of people who have bad relationships right now, people who've made grave mistakes. I mean, think about it. A lot of people are actually in not the best health of our lives because guess what? We have dwelt on our feelings. Our feelings and emotions got us there. Guess what? For example, I knew I need to exercise today. I don't feel like it. I know I shouldn't eat all these cookies. I'm going to eat them. I know I shouldn't eat the whole thing of chips and ice cream, but I'm going to eat it. That's all feelings and emotion, folks. And if we don't, let our sanctified minds kind of govern it. Now, I'm saying I don't, it's not that you're going to ignore all feelings and emotions. That's why we put only in there, because sometimes, again, you get hunches, you get these kind of things that, and the better most people are on there, sometimes you go with that's what they call gut feeling. But again, feelings is not faith by itself, and emotions is not faith. So they must be governed by the mind, because your mind, your brain is the citadel of decision-making power. So analyze your feeling, but filter them through the power of your intellect that God has given to you, right? Now, let's look at this quotation here now. It says, if we wait for a special feeling, we may be disappointed. Feeling has nothing to do with faith. Having complied with the word of God, do not depend on your feelings for evidence of acceptance with God. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If you have complied again with the conditions, then believe God whether or not you feel any different. See, this is why we get in trouble again. Because again, I don't feel saved. I don't feel blessed. I don't feel this. I don't feel that. Listen, when you feel that way and you keep verbalizing, guess what happens? Again, you have more of that same feelings and emotion, and it keeps multiplying in the way you want it to go. You gotta undo that, okay? So feelings or no feelings, emotions or no emotions, we should do what is right because it is right. We should do what is right because it is principle based. Think about it. In relationships, why do we curse out each other? Why do people get say angry things and bitter things that they regret? Because of feelings, right? For example, love is a principle. That's why we say principle-based life. If I know love is a principle, and for those of you who are believers as well, think about this. The Bible is clear: love one another. Period. Punto final, nada más ese todo. Be ye kind, tender-hearted, forgiving one another. All of those are principles. Even the golden rule is a principle. So I know that with my sanctified mind, but my feelings is saying something else. So that's why I'm saying you just cannot only go by feelings, because your sanctified mind ought to know that I ought to be speaking love compassionately. If I'm angry, then guess what? Maybe indeed you want to bite your tongue and go cool off. That's what the power of your thinking, reasoning man and woman inside of you can help you to do. But when you let feelings control now, then you blurt out every single thing. And the book, the wise proverb says, a foolish person utters their whole mind, right? It's just say everything. That's not what wisdom. That's not being wise at all. So, and this will also help you to stay in faith as well, because it is our feeling sometimes that derails us. Sometimes you second guess yourself. Sometimes again we make decisions because we're afraid of what is that feeling and emotion. So those are the negative feelings that comes in. You're supposed to be stepping out in faith. And not only that, but some people need to make certain choices and decisions in life, and it may seem tough. The reason it's tough is because yourself, your feelings is getting in the way. It don't want to go through the pain. Think about it. You know what I mean? You want to gain the kind of weight or muscle, etc. Right? I'm a skinny guy by nature. So, but I'm just saying in general, if you want to be healthy, what do we do? Our body wants to avoid the pain. So we don't go to the gym. We don't want to exercise. We don't want to lift the weights, or we don't want to go for the walk, because we think that is going to be painful to the body. So the body is in a feeling mode and is trying to protect those feelings, which are not serving us. So again, my sanctified mind ought to say, listen, pain is temporary, right? So I have to go through this thing if I'm going to get the results on the other side. You see how they all go together again? We go back to that thing. In proportion to what you put in is what you're going to get out. So again, if you want to go the distance, if you're supposed to do it for an hour, here you are 45 minutes or 30 minutes, and you're ready to give up because your leg tells you something, bro, you can't go another step. No, you know that you can go this 1 hour. That's why you set it as a goal. Achieve the goal. So let me give you an example. When we were in Maryland, this was a few years ago, but that was one of our most powerful, dynamic, successful missions of all. I mean, every goal we not just achieved, but shattered every goal. And here's the thing, interestingly, on that mission, our theme was faith. That's all we spoke about. Every worship, every talk, everything we did was about faith. Okay, we raised the most monies we ever rose in my whole time serving there. Then when we even went overseas that summer as well, we planted the most churches we've ever planted. We baptized the most souls we've ever baptized. Okay, so we're talking about thousands. The reason for this is because we were putting our feelings and emotions aside and operated by faith and faith alone. Okay, so now here's the thing. One night, for example, we had set a goal. Well, one day we set a goal. I think it might have been around the Christmas holidays or something. But we all covenanted together. Remember, teamwork together. We all said this is going to be our goal. And so, and it did my heart real well as a leader. Here's what happened. When we all came back into the van, folks were counting their funds and etc. And we were short of it. And I'm like, listen, I said, folks, this, it's late. We need to go. And, y'all did a good job. I mean, frankly, we didn't hit the mark as we wanted to, but it was not way off either. The saints said, no, break it down. Let's get on out and let's go achieve our goal. Man, and I didn't have to tell them that. They wanted to. And, it did my heart so good, because I'm like, that's what principles is all about. And we didn't have to, of course, get down long. As soon as the first person hit the goal, voila, we all came back, we celebrated, we rejoiced. But again, that's the kind of stuff that I miss, actually, because sometimes you are in even some faith circles, man, and people don't have faith at all. We don't go after things. We just, again, we pray everything, God gonna do it. And I know God is gonna do it, but not without us. You gotta do it. God empowers. So, but we again just pray, but we don't act. So all of these things here that we've achieved and done, we were participants. We were not spectators in our own dreams and goals and visions. So, but feelings can get in the way. So I'm telling you, don't deny all feelings. I think we want to be balanced. But what I'm saying is don't rely upon it alone. Check it with your sanctified mind. And if you set a goal, it's worthy. You've done all the homework. By the way, if you need some recap, go read my book on strategic secrets about how to set goals in our journal, the one we did, the revision journal. We give some 7 steps to set and achieve goals. So if you provided you follow those strategies and you set the goal, then you got to achieve the goal regardless of what. Tell yourself that I am going to listen. If you gotta cry, yes, sometimes you do it. Hey, you know what? We are emotional beings too, right? So but if you gotta cry, cry. But know that it's not gonna stop you from achieving the goal, though. You're gonna take your time to whine and have self pity. Okay, that's good. We gotta give yourself that. But after you've cried, after you had the pity party, then it's time to get back to work. Okay, already. Chance give you a little tip right there. And the last one, number 6. So again, 3 positives, 3 negatives in the sense of never. Never speak failure or can't. Woo! Never speak of failure or can't. Because why? We're trying to be successful. Remember, the topic is 6 principles that guarantee success. Always guarantee success. So what are we looking for? Success, achievement, outcome. We want to reach whatever it is that we believe to be a worthy dream, goal, vision, etc. But you can't want to be successful thinking, speaking failures and can't. Here's a powerful quotations on that. It says here, one is gospel workers and the other one is Christ object lessons. Workers for Christ, and I just say workers in general, are never to think, much less talk of failure. All right. Okay, let me read that over. Sorry, I messed that up. I'm trying to go ahead of myself. Workers for Christ are never to think, much less to speak of failure in their work. Wow, not once should we even think of failure. We are to cooperate with the one who knows no failure. That's God, right? You see the humanity and divinity working together. We should not talk of our own weakness and inability. This is a manifest distrust of God and a denial of his word. Oh my, that's a powerful word right there. Here's the thing, friends. If you want to be successful, do not never, ever talk failure or can't in your work, because you're going to weaken yourself, you're going to second guess yourself, and you're going to make unwise decisions. You're going to bring about the thing that you're speaking about. Remember, speak the way you want to be, and the day will come when you will be the way you speak. If you want failure, then you go ahead and just keep talking about it. Okay. But if you want success, you can't keep speaking about failure. So I hope those encourages you. Now, those are the 6 things or principles rather that will always guarantee success. But you know me, I'm a number 7 guy, right? It's got to be 7. So I'm gonna give you one bonus here. Okay, so those are the 6. If you take those 6, run with it. Take those 6, run with it. But again, you read my book, it's 7 this, 7 that, 7 this, 7 this. Our course, monetize your skills, 7 things that you need to do. Publishing, 7 steps to publish a book. So I have to cap it off because 7 is the number of perfection. So let me give you one more. This is a bonus. Do it now. Number 7 is this. Do it now. Do it now. Nike is a great slogan. Do it now. Just do it. Okay. So why do I say this? I have a wonderful quotation here by Dr. Edward Kramer. He says, eliminate the time between the idea and the act, and your dreams will become your realities. Isn't that powerful? Eliminate the time between idea, between inspiration, between the motivation and the action, and then you will achieve it. Because here's the thing. If we don't, then there's something called the law of diminishing intent. Here's what it says. Okay. Oh, by the way, why do most people fail? Again, between the idea and the action, not in the action itself. Many people do not achieve success simply because they do not act upon the opportunities and the ideas that they have. How many times we've all said that? We've all said that. Like, you've seen someone create I mean, someone come out with a product or something. Man, I thought about that before. But you see, the difference between the two is the one acted on his or her dream, and the other was just wishing about it. It was just a good idea. And think about this too. Again, when you have the inspiration to exercise, that's the time to do it. When you have inspiration to write, that's the time to do it. When you have inspiration to do good, that's the time to do it. Because here's, being a minister, this really is a crucial thing, because there are times, for example, you get these inspiration, which we believe is God, right? That's the voice of the Holy Spirit speaking to you. So sometimes, for example, you might have an inspiration, call this person, you might not have spoken to them, or go visit this person, and then you don't. And then all of a sudden, maybe you get a message. Now they're in the hospital, or worse, they've died. Now that right there, you could have probably, been a last minute blessing to that individual or something. We don't want it to be that dire, but it does happen like that. Your cousin, your brother, your wife, say something good, do this wonderful thing. Because the longer you wait to act, it is the more difficult it is indeed to act. That's the law of diminishing intent. It says the longer you wait to do something you should do now, the greater the odds that you will never actually do it. The longer you wait to exercise, is you're not going to do it. The longer you wait to do anything, is just simply that. We procrastinate forever. I mean, and it happens to me, even the best of us. I had an idea, for example. We just moved into a new community, and it came back even today, right? Because my neighbor did something good for me today. And so, but I had an idea of creating these, like a little gift bag type of a thing, and actually put a card in there of services that I offer, introducing myself to everybody in the community. So they have my phone number, they have my business card, and maybe in one of my books or something like that. But just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm in your community, I'm a minister. If you need any kind of services in relation to, if you want a house blessing, baby dedication, wedding, anything along those lines, I'm your guy. Or just know that you have someone here to help you out in your spiritual situations. And it doesn't matter who they are. We're not proselytizing. It's just simply, that's the thought that I had. Okay. And so this is a new subdivision. There's another one, two, and another one of three. So three subdivisions going up, towards where I work. Here's the thing. That idea is a good idea. It came to me. I wrote the idea down, but I haven't acted on that, and because other things come in the way too. So and this has been of several. I mean, probably over a month now. But today it also came back. You know why it came back? Because it is something I know I should do. Because okay, like I said, my neighbor did a kind deed for me today, and so I'm like, man, it would have been good if I had already did this thing, and I called my wife and said, okay, yeah, I need to take a book, a journal, or something to my neighbor, and maybe you can make some cookies or something like that, but that's what we say is, when inspiration is there, act on it. Because the longer we wait, I call it strike while hot. That's one of the things I learned in the military, right? Strike while hot, while the inspiration is fresh, while the thought is there, while it is on your tongue, say it, right? So when is the best time to tell somebody you love them? Before somebody else does. In other words, you tell them now. Don't wait. Everyone wants to hear good deeds now. In our mission group, our president used to always say, give people their flowers before they die. And that is true, because, when people die, everybody bring the flowers, everybody say kind words. But did you say those kind words in the beginning? Did you say those kind words while they were alive? No, we didn't. So, now is the time, right? Now is even spiritually. Again, same thing. People are, when people go to, for example, church, they get these inspiration when you give the appeal, they're under conviction. But the longer they wait to make a decision, guess what? Right? There are people who want to be baptized, for example, if you're in the faith community, and the longer they put off their baptism, chances are they wouldn't do it, right? Because when they have the decision made right now, the sooner we baptize them, the better. So that's something we're trying to work with our own faith group, because I'm like, folks, folks have sometimes taken people through these long litany of studies before people make a decision to be baptized. I'm like, listen, we continue to study with people. Don't get me wrong. People have to know something, but I don't think you got to spend 28 lessons on with somebody before they make up their mind to be baptized. That doesn't make no sense. You give a person one study of baptism. If they believe that they want to be baptized, then baptize them. You know what I'm saying? So everyone has their own views, but I'm just saying, nowhere in the Bible did I see anybody taking forever to be baptized. Let's put it that way, right? You can't show me one. The longest I've seen is 3 days, people waiting, right? And so most of the times is that, again, people lose inspiration when they don't take action. And that's why procrastination is so deadly and lethal. And then it becomes now more painful to now delay any further. And but by doing so now, that's when we make rash decisions. That's where we affect our health. Students in the classroom, the paper, the project is due, right, 6 weeks ago. But now the night before, they write in 20 papers. Well, that means you could have written 20 papers freely and easily, but now you burn in the midnight oil so you can study for the test, or you can, do the stuff. But guess what? Now you've affected your health, at least for that day. And if you keep doing that kind of a stuff, it's going to affect your health, long term. So that's the kind of stuff that we're saying is do it now. Same thing with marriage. You get these good ideas to do something for your spouse, do something for your partner, and we don't do it. And then over time it gets stale. You get out of touch. Why? Because the good you needed to do, you didn't do it. By the way, faith-based folks again, to him who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is what, right? So you gotta do the good you need to do when you need to do it. So that's why number 7 is do it now, because you can know all the things, but unless you implement, take action, nothing happens. Unless you take action on your goal, your dream, it's not going to happen. And then let me tell you this too, frankly, flat out, if you just pray only and don't work, your dreams are not going to happen the way they need to happen either. You're probably just going to be mediocre at best. Okay. So I'm here to tell you, pray and work and work and pray. Amen. Let the saints say amen. So I hope that encouraged you. May you be blessed until we meet again on next week. I always want to give you an opportunity for those of you who would like to partner with us. We are seeking to be able to up level what we do and create more resources. We don't want to slow down in some capacity. Like we said, we talked about that 2020 was one of those years, or one of them years. So right now we are trying to ramp back up, trying to create some stuff so that we can get out there to be a blessing to folks. By the way, we helped one lady, Esme Patty. If you want to do us a favor, we haven't put up her book yet. We need to put it on our website. But we have created a book for her, and this is one of the powerful things. Esme is an elderly. Okay, she had a dream of writing a book. Okay, she is a poet. She didn't believe she was a poet, but now she knows she is a poet. And so several months ago, she came and she was talking about that. I guess one of her relatives knows me. We work together. And so he told her, to call me. And so she did. And there we go. That's all it took, a call. And now when we said, Esme, you got to do your part now. I can show you the way. If you follow my steps, you're going to get your book published. And guess what? We did it in under a month, right? Actually, a book was supposed to be released even June the 7th, right? But now it's already published. It's already out there on Amazon, way ahead of schedule, right? So I think we published it last week, if I'm not mistaken. So she has a book, okay? It is called This I Declare. There are poems, inspirational poems that will help you restore your hope, your faith, and experience the love of God. That's the book, Esme Patty, ESMEPADDIE. Check her out, give her some support. She's a member of our community now. And again, being an elderly, we are so happy for her. And so she has it in print version and an ebook. We are working on the audiobook version, so that might be out in the next month or so. So stay tuned for that one. But we will be working on her audiobook to bring that to light. So yes, support us. If you want to be an ambassador, again, or in our website we have something where on a monthly basis, if you want to contribute something to help us to create products and programs. I know everybody, you got a lot of stuff that you do. People give a lot of support to nonprofits, and we do the same. But we really believe that people need resources that will help them. We are here to help people experience balance, not only spiritually, because some people, again, they are doing okay spiritually, but man, the other areas of their life is way off. So we really want to take those spiritual lessons and communicate them in finances, in our career, in our health, in relationship, etc. So think about it. At least go to strategicsecrets.com/ambassadors, or if you're watching this video, right below here, you should see a button that says ambassadors. Try it out, look at it. And these are not just a one-way thing, right? Giving has taken on a new role now. It's not just give and then you get nothing. No, we want to give and also be a blessing to you. So as you give, what we have are tools and resources where you can get our free books, where you don't have to buy anything from us anymore. Just pick a level. So consider this like your educational Netflix, right? Where you are learning and where we are bringing these type of things to you. We want to be able to do more. We're going to be branching out soon as well. We are also learning the investment thing. We're going to be doing a lot on finances. We're going to bring back Don Daniel. I think, man, he's the guru. And right now he got us. We've always talked about him. We use his principles, but now we have invested deeply into his program. And so, we talk about that, man, how he has, we have 2 mortgages. They will all be gone, in no time. And so I'm telling you, it's what you don't know that kills us, and so that's why we are here. Strategic Secrets. We want to give you the secrets that all professionals, entrepreneurs, ministry leaders are using to up-level their life, not just one part, but holistically. So check it out, or tell somebody. The more people that buy a book from us, buy a course from us, etc., even if you don't want it, get it as a gift to someone. This is graduation. Go to our website, strategicsecrets.com, get a book, get a journal, get a course for somebody who is graduating. Bless them, or gift them this membership of monthly ambassadors, where again every single month they will be able to get content from us. They get special. Notice now, many of you don't get all emails as we've been sending them out, right? Because we are fine-tuning. We are giving different levels of access to those who are more committed and invested, because we really want people to use the information that we're giving. This is not just just learning something. No, what we're sharing are powerful stuff that the best of the best people who write all these books, etc., right? That's the principles that they are using. And so that's what we want you to have as well. And I do the same. I'm always learning. I just bought several books. Here's a book that I just bought. There's a CD there that I've been listening to in my car while I drive. I just bought a whole entire package on team building, right? Learned about team building, right? So we know some of that, but based on my line of work, you got to use some different strategies. So, so we're trying to see if we can really and truly lead our team. We're tired of going the same direction. So I bought this hoping we can gain some new strategies and insights, strategic secrets that we can build our team here in this local community so that they can indeed make the kind of impact that we believe God wants his people to do, right? We can only try, but we wouldn't do it without strategies, and we wouldn't do it without you. So that's all that I have. Again, family, thank you. May God richly bless you. Try out, implement these 6 different strategies. These principles will help you always to achieve success in any area of your life. And if you want an extra tip, of course, do point number 7. Do it now. Take care. I'll see you on next week. Bye-bye.